gotta jump in because unity is gonna form the spiritual community, y'all. You gotta get it right, y'all. It's gonna be glad. Alright? What's that about? People, yeah, we're gonna jump right into it, talking about these false prophets and you know, a lot of people who claim to have the answer for us, P. I mean, these people really say they had all the answers for us, so we're gonna talk about them real fast, man, because it don't seem like that's gonna work. The heaven is within. It's always gonna be within. And true repentance comes with celibacy. Celibacy is the key to paying the tithes while on earth. Since they wanted to know the secret, they know, a lot of the elites know the secret already. Oh, they go swift. A lot of the elites know the secret already. They know it's with the Kundalini. This is why they attack child's energies. Because the Kundalini is pure. Hold on, people. You're going crazy. Hold on. That's the secret that niggas got that's over everybody. This is why they attack niggas and molest them when they was younger. They do this to all babies and all children, even their own. You see a lot of cases popping up right now, the truth. So when your Kundalini is constantly being activated and used in sexual acts and activities and you're draining your light, this is how you further get away from the unity that we have, that we're supposed to have, and we're gonna have. Once we all repent, meaning that we got to go back to being celibate again. This is the key. And the false prophets never told us that because they were too busy trying to make money, trying to get us to buy into their religion. And literally, you know, Malachi York, I think he could be a part of his whole little setup for $27. So, you know, being a part of somebody's religion for $27, man, is like kind of like crazy, really, because like anybody can have $27. They can just find out what you're saying. This is why the Most High is showing right now with the true ones by delivering the information, by putting it all together and having discernment. Whether it's working out, you know, discovering the science of the mounds, because a lot of the false prophets didn't really want to talk about the mounds. A few of them did because they know we was going to discover it sooner or later. Now, their greatest fear is coming to reality, which is the celibacy. And all the niggas start to become celibate. And I tell you, month by month is the greatest experience you'll ever have. As far as for a man, it's paying your tithes, repenting. It's true repentance. And you can get all the way up to the crown chakra. Every month, your light gets really bright within. Well, you'll start developing more virtue, more virtueness, you know, you get more realer with yourself. The truth you start manifesting the truth. You only want the truth even more. So shout out to we know the truth now, because the guy be doing this thing. I don't know if you watching, man. He said, what's up, y'all? Antoine, peace. What it do, G? What's happening? Peace to the gods. You already know. Peace. It's good to see you out here, man. False prophets ought to stop it. They getting the false prophets. You already know what's up, man. That's what they trying to do, is make that money, man. And we did it all without no money. We got gods on here that you can, you know, donate to, and because they came up with certain information and things of that nature. But you had certain false prophets that came with a full team that was like, you know, hey, it's a little, they came with a full team, and they was trying to make money off of people's lack of knowledge as far as like buying your nationality and shit like that. And there's things that you can do, yeah, that's dealing with that, because people was trying to really profit off of these things. In real life, it's like basically expatriating. If you really want to come together, expatriate and reform our unit. We have to be at the place where it's most abundant for us, and where we most likely will come together. The less crime and all of that, and the better chance of us, you know, manifesting our talents and our skills, and our spiritual nature and our gifts. And that's in the South, of course, but we have to become celibate. That's the key. It's just showing you right now. Them false prophets didn't do it. They were too busy getting caught up with like 13, 14-year-olds, man. You know, these people throw all kind of things at me. I'm letting you know that right now. They know that a mug is talking. And they know a mug is out here. They throw all kind of mugs at me. I'm talking about women. I mean, the men naturally are off on the knockout. I'm talking about like the beasts, not like men. You know what I'm saying? You can sense that a mug. You can sense my sincerity and shit. You know what I mean? But it's not like no punk ass shit. It's like, yo, man, this is what's gonna get us up on our warrior stance, where we honor each other, then we be in uniform, and I'm talking about union. You don't have to worry about no false prophets no more. They ain't coming. We ain't got people like you know, what's his name and them. The new ones, I think they got took to jail. And I ain't talking about Rashad Jamal. I like him. I just found him out. But I'm talking about Brother Polite. He messaged me too, man. And I was like, I didn't even really respond. But you know, I'm just saying, a lot of these different things, we're not gonna be doing them more. You know, shout out to the FBAs. I shout out to the Foundation of Black Americans. Man, I shout them out. A lot of people don't like the name. You know, black is, you're gonna deal with the essence. You're gonna use the essence as far as utilizing that. You know, we know in the government form, in the Black Star Dictionary means, you know, wicked and all that stuff, dead and everything. But however, we're gonna use what we can relate to all of us, instead of just saying niggas. You know what I'm saying? And yes, we did contribute to a lot of things. And once we get together, like the Bible said, we have to be together first. We don't need nobody else. Once we come together, this is one of the virtues that we're going to do. We're going to be celibate first. We're going to show the world, since, oh, you think you lustful and shit? No, we're the finest motherfuckers. We're the most handsomest and most charming. Look how quick it up. The most loving. You know, we seen this in our low self because we had traits that were brought out of us. We're not pathological. We dealt with the pathological people, and you see what happens. And that's because you're leaving out a certain aspect, leaving out a certain element, and that's the spiritual nature. Whether we're NINJI, American Indian, whichever name you want to call, we're leaving out the spiritual nature of us and the heavens that pertains to our land, which is in the Amaru. That's a sparrow. It just came through. The heavens over our lands. This is very important for everyone, actually, because they seeing our connection with the Creator and how we evolve and give praise and do rituals to our early ancient cultures, early ancient way of living. We got star forts. We went around the world where we showed individuals a lot of different things, mathematics. Shit, we learned a lot of things, guys. And so we're now remembering it through our DNA now. Now we're seeing it put in activation and shit. False prophets couldn't do what we done did in the past 10 years, over 100 years, 400 years, they couldn't do it. The unity that we're doing now, we got sisters online doing using their powers for good. You know, we're not conjuring up spirits to try to destroy our boyfriends and shit like that. Nah, man. Girlfriends and no, we ain't got time for all that stuff. Hey, what's happening? Caitlin Lopez. What's good? I hope I said something. Hope you're still there if you was. You know what I'm saying? I know you're just joining in, stuff like that. But hey, Caitlin, I hope I said it right. Yeah, man. We're just touching on the foundation of Black Americans. People really shouldn't get mad at that, you know? Because a lot of truth is in that. You know, you see a lot of things that was invented by foundation of Black Americans, you know? Like, even though we were Indian, we declassified us or whatever. We know we're Indian, they reclassified us, and they even gave us that name. But we got names, NINJI. We got names that we're gonna refer to as when we get everything in order. In order to do that, though, everybody gotta become celibate. That's gonna speed up the process. That's gonna further connect us to our ancestors. Now, on our land, we got ancestors that already graduated and went to Etheria. They're just not on Earth. We're just not calling people that have passed away to come do dirt on individuals and shit. You know what I'm saying? We're not Africans, and I'm not saying African is like a bad thing. They're just unlearned. They're not ripened yet. You know? But we're not that type of individuals. We're not those types. We already had our family graduate. They done went to Etheria now. They done learn certain things. Now, these ones that went to Etheria, they on their way back. Etheria is up. Extraterrestrial is out. Etheria is up, man. That's where they know where you come from. They know you're Ethereum. This is why you see a lot of shit going on in the world now. They want to stop you from your connection to your higher ancestors. And they know celibacy for the original man or the black man in the Amaru is the way. This is how he repents. Yeah, they started us off early. Sex is the key, man, to tap back into heaven. The happiness, because that's what triggers them. That triggers, naturally, genetically, it triggers white folks. A lot of us, not all of them, but a lot of ones who are just not ripened enough from their culture, it triggers them when they see the happiness of original people. Laughing, singing. You know, that's why the police get called. You're just sitting back chilling in your peaceful mode. Months come over and say, you can't do this, that. And, you know, they know already, G. The Kundalini is sitting a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You're shining, you're vibrating, how you're showing the richness of the creator and shit. You're like, damn, they like, you ain't on drugs. Like, you ain't running around here stressing and yelling and screaming and shit like that. You got the sun covered up. You know what I mean? Covering up the sun, like you see us flying in the sky, spraying shit out and everything. Why you ain't mad? Like, no, we don't too. We know what's going on. And they know that we faith this, meaning that we're connected to the creator. Like, faith is like, we know and understand that there's like a higher source. And so with us, we show the other peoples in the world that, by example, how to tap into self, the source, so they can tap up and get up off the earth plane. But these people that we're involved with now, it's very hard for them to do. It may not be possible for them to do. It's kind of like Planet of the Apes, but in reverse. You're in the way. It's like Planet of the Apes, but in reverse. We're not the apes. Everybody try to make us seem like we was the apes. We ain't the apes, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They try to make us seem like the apes. No. Planet of the Apes is what we got going on right now. These are apes you're dealing with that just kind of want you to treat them bad anyways. They got cluster B personality disorder. We got to break it down like that. It's cluster B personality. Look it up, man. They have it pathological wise. They need your attention. You're a natural specimen. You're a natural species. You represent the creator. These people have to look at you. They have to be in your presence, especially when you're manifesting that and representing that, the happy vibe, which they call aloha here. They say it like, yo, have aloha, but it's stolen by individuals who come up and try to take their happiness from you. And it's done slickly. You have to be a rich individual to be able to even sustain here. Because it's a different type of spirit around that, different type of vibe. You either gotta have money, look at that, come on. To kind of keep you rich so you can fill your ego up, or you gotta be rich spiritually. And that's why you constantly reminded to yourself, But the headers over these lands are very important because this is why you see these individuals try to attack your land. It's more than the resources. What's up, y'all? It's more than the resources. False prophets could have told us that. They're too busy telling us about how wicked a person is, you know, how we can't do certain things, how this man was made in laboratories according to the NOI, you know, talking about Yakub and his grafted devil, you know what I mean? That's the number 2 degree in the English C lesson, or the knowledge to understanding equality, which is the 1 through 36 for the ones who know, you know. Not the 1 through 36 part itself. The student enrollment, the knowledge to knowledge cipher part itself, which is who is a colored man. The colored man is Yakub's grafted devil. The white man on planet Earth. Certain degrees call him the skunk, whatever. So there's a lot of things to say about this. Will we be able to live amongst this type of personality disorder in the future? If it's a narcissistic personality that's forcing itself on, you know, the indigenous people. Indigenous people are seen as a supply source to this narcissistic entity, which is like so-called oppressor. Why do we have to deal with them for? They don't have no resources. They came over, we gave them ours. Now that we know. And I don't want to see this big bro, big cousin, them coming back, grandma, granddaddy, and all them in life form. If they really gonna do something. This is what we're seeing now. Because now that everyone knows that, hey, this is that the Americans and all the islands in the Pacific and in the Caribbean are part of the same culture. And what's going to happen? Y'all going to get this? Are these invaders or these people going to get out and leave? Because those buildings are already built on these islands and places without them even being there. So they're going to go to a place and say, my dad, we have to leave now. Because to certain people on the earth, we got to look at this narcissistic personality, man. You know, that's what we're dealing with. Certain people, they know how to deal with, they have different supplies. Just like a player can deal with certain women in different ways. These are the same way, the same ones. Slap up your main chick, because you know she's going to stay the whole time. You got more invested in the main chick, and that's like considered the Black American. So-called descendant of the mound builders. They know that. They know that niggas you see here, and they was looking at these mounds, and they chilling, and they children's playing on the mounds still. But I know how it is. When I was with my children, I used to bring my children to the mounds. And as soon as we get there, we'll see, like, this is all the time, man. We'll see Hindus and shit. And their children be having fun, laughing until we walk up. And I bring me and, like, my four. They were little at the time. Everybody lead them out. We go sit up on top and we say Indian style. Call it camper style. But Indian style. We sit in Indian style. And we'll sit there, man. I tell stories over the mound until the sun hits and go down. I named the mounds my daggone self. But yeah, you know that these powers are there, and your powers are more activated when your kundalini is raised up. Only man can do this first. You gotta set the mode with celibacy. Once you set the tone, women come back to you. They won't even lie to you. I guarantee you they won't lie to you, man. You'll know the type of woman you want anyway. First, you'll know the type. Celibacy is the way anyway. Anytime you want to teach anything, you gotta go celibate. And the future is gonna be that way. Anytime we're teaching children, because we're gonna teach children. We're not teaching grown ass people anymore. The child that's within them, that's the only way we can do it with this generation, by these people, by the people that's of this age now, and repent through becoming celibate again. Every year is like gaining your youth back again. You'll start seeing life and happiness and shit. I know I seen corny bodies smiling and shit or whatever. I see a lot of hell. I go through a lot of hell. It's the most high blessed me with a smile. So I know motherfuckers don't like my ass and shit. They set it up like that. That's how I have the way, man. You know, so you can do the same thing. We're working out, grinding. We're naturally magnetized together because once the kundalini gets up, our magnetism will draw each other together. We ain't even gotta have the Million-Man March and come together and not do a damn thing about business. Get a million people together, and we need to come together for $1 a piece to put $1 million together to get a plate of land so we can have our own gardens and shit. These motherfuckers bring 1 million people. What kind of profit is that? Bring 1 million people together and we couldn't do shit? Oh man, come on. That's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane, dude. At the nation's capital, we got 1 million people. I remember that. I didn't even go outside that day on purpose, just to represent spiritual. But it wasn't about a spiritual thing. It was like on some old spiritual deadening. Like, look, I got these niggas, 1 million niggas together, and they not gonna tear shit up. Look. And that's what it is. But you can't do that shit now, though. They know now you're not gonna get 1 million niggas together without motherfuckers tearing some shit up. Because motherfuckers is woke. And this is for the future. This ain't for the old folk no more, man. We didn't already design the way of the marches how we supposed to do it back then. It's not honored because we got a beast that's out here, the forefront, they're the straw man of the whole shit. They're not gonna honor shit, man. You can't even travel. You can tell these motherfuckers you traveling, they're like, no, you're driving. Like, oh, no, I'm traveling. Like, yeah, you're driving. Like, damn, nigga, didn't I just tell you? I ain't got a license on purpose. I got a permit, I mean I'm permitted to drive, motherfucker. I'm not gonna be driving with this license unless I'm gonna be transmitting cargo and shit. But you arguing all of this shit with these mugs that are already put into place. They got drujits on them, spirits on them, at least 6 or 7 of them motherfuckers that's already there to take your ass down. Already. It's a war going on, man. Your ancestors whooping ass, and this is why they trying to get up on mugs. Your ancestors tearing shit up, G. Taking over the resurrections that are happening. This is why NASA say they can't get outside of the 3rd Van Allen belt. There's 3 of them. These are symbolic to the resurrections or plateaus of heavens upon earth. And yours happens to be the highest in America. That's why false prophet Malachi York talked about his planet risk, because he was risking the information about him, about his people being connected spiritually through the atmosphere. As the spirits get up to, they call them Denir. But he didn't break it down in a form of fashion where like, yo, nigga, we're building light ships and all of that. He'll say they got SARs and all of these things, but not to the form of, we're building light ships. This is what we do. We sail the ships of the skies. You know, you can do that in atmosphere and connect to the worlds within the firmament, but we go outside the firmament. This is what they're afraid of. They're like, these niggas got people outside the firmament, which they refer to as God. Like, you got God of the earth, you know what I'm saying? And some of their worlds are taken over. The earth, I'm gonna look at this as a whole plane real fast. And each plane is like, each world is separated through a dome or a firmament. So, and each world is controlled by a God that is like the smartest, swiftest angel on the earth and shit. They all voted him into office. This is where they get the whole little office thing from. This is where everything comes from. That's why we have Property Point down in Louisiana. Everything, we already had a structure of what heaven is. And this is how you see everything's built after that. You know, everything. All right, well, baby, come in here. Sparrow. You know, so as far as like with them resurrections, you know, ancestors back, tear shit up. They coming after mortals, which is the babies, which is us. A lot of us, it's some high protection rate up. It's a lot of shit going on. It's a lot of amped up warring angels that's around right now. Because the false prophets, you don't see them out in the streets no more like that. You may see a few things, but they're not really out doing things. They ain't got no land. They're not going to get no land. You're talking about all shit. How you going to get some land? Malachi York's not going to be able to keep that 476 acres of land on the court. You know what I'm saying? You're not of light with us. The land is going to be given back to us through our virtuousness, our truthfulness, our heart. You know? You gotta let them deal with Trump. We can't really deal with Trump unless, I ain't gonna say Trump, the world leaders, but they having meetings upon meetings behind our back like a motherfucker. I'm talking about crafty conversations and meetings about niggas at world meeting. They talking about Putin talking to the nigga Ibrahim and shit. Them niggas is telling us to come over there. Meanwhile, they done set up motherfucking the UN over in Kenya. It's some extra shit popping. Pardon me, y'all, for not jumping in. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get it's some extra shit popping up. You know what I mean? And so now it's like, you know, they know. If they don't know that you don't know what we talking about right now, they know that you finna know this shit. You know what I'm saying? Once you do this is the missing piece. Celibacy. The chicks gonna be throwing themselves at you. They always think that niggas is thirsty anyway. We're not really thirsty because we got a cluster B personality too. We'll idolize and divide and discard your ass quick too. Scared of the nigga. So, you know what I mean? But we ain't with that right now. You know what I'm saying? We're on some high vibratory energy. We're tapping into our Buddha energy, our enlightened energy, like our Angkor Wat energy. You know what I'm saying? The representation of the 50 Buddha statues that they got over there that's representing the 50 states and shit. That's what we tapping into. Kundalini is the secret. It's the celibacy. And it takes days, not a whole bunch of years. It takes us months to get up and start repenting. The energy start popping, G. The prophets got us up to the heart chakra. They try to keep us underneath the heart chakra. Right now, I'm trying to strive to get you up to this crown chakra and beyond. This is what's going to get you connected to your higher upper room. My phone thing is covered up down there, so it's like, you know. He says I haven't walked through the glasses. Oh yeah, man. Multi-dimensional. Multi-dimensional. Sitting here just to let you know. Time is running out till I'm back just like I'm Quetico. Chilling down in Mexico. Yucatan I'm headed for. Standing on the pyramid and breathing as I catch the flow. Forward feeling. I'm booming, wheeling. My crew is healing. The earth I'm tealing. I'm planting out my cosmic seedlings. Even know how I'm beaming gold to that higher orbit. This time I'm about to beam them. That's what's gonna happen. This seem like a little, just like, that's gonna happen to you. All throughout Kundalini. The new generation is gonna be on. Because now we're gonna get them about the system. Take it up, get off the phone. Take it up, get off the phone, come here. We're gonna get them out the system. Because these people are adopting our children. They're adopting our children and shit, training them their way. I watched 2 guys out here with his brother, young brother. That young boy is so drawn up to me, but I don't know. He knows what goes on with 2 white men. I'm gonna say it like that, 2 Caucasians. I hear that going on in the house. We know what goes on in the locker room, in the YMCA. I know. Yeah. So, it's a lot of things, and, it's just a lot of things. Virtuousness is not around anymore. So that's why we gotta refine ourselves. Get on the gooseberries and melon diets, get the parasites up out of you so you can think on a higher level. Debo, I ain't putting nothing else in the book. You wanna say hi to everybody? Let me check y'all out and say peace, man. On our ass, nigga, we back, nigga. We back, nigga. On our ass, nigga, we back, nigga. We back, nigga. Yeah, they trying to still take the sun from us. Thank you, Dub. I think that's about it on your behalf. You done, thank you, Dub. That's it. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry. I'm pulling my hand off. Yeah, man. So, and as far as in the near future too, man, I want to discuss things with the, putting in the work, man. For any one of our Black Panther parties in the Mississippi area, because this is where this is the nucleus. We know what's up with Chicago and all that good stuff. And, all the big cities, that's not going to work. The core is Mississippi, Alabama. Really, Mississippi is the actual nucleus. So, the Black Panther Party down there, we got to really build everything we do. We have to as a unit. If we're coming together to have it's a birthday party. I don't even care if it's that. We'll have to be supportive and have us represented out there. And the men have to be trained thoroughly and not just upset with straps. You know what I mean? I like the fact that we hold straps, but we have to have discipline with these straps because even though that's not the weapon that we're supposed to use, but we can use this also as far as like a defense. Our real defense is our spiritual kundalini once we raise that up. And when the men are disciplined and gear up, I'm telling you, become more militant, become more warrior-like. That's why you don't have sex and you ain't got time to have sex during wartime. This is really wartime, Pete. You know what I'm saying? Time of peace, prepare for wartime, and war prepare for peace. So we're doing both at the same time. So, and then we have a coalition to call them NFAC. I'm going to deal with them a little bit more. I like that they represent, but we have to be a little bit more on it because, like in the hood and shit, there's niggas who got quick responses when they hear the gunshots, and we got a gun. We're not just ducking. We're ducking, but we're pulling out too. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference with certain niggas and shit. We're not just running and screaming and shit. You know what I mean? And you got the strap. You don't know where the bullets coming from. We're not walking into ambushes, shit like that. You can't do things like this. This is how serious shit is. You know what I mean? If you want to have a peaceful life, and because the land is already invaded. We don't care about people having their own territories or want to have their own white-owned lands and everything. We know they don't pay homage to what was invented for them to have refrigerators and shit like that. We know that they don't care about that. You know what I mean? But as far as with us, what we can do is defend ourselves, and the best way to defend ourselves is start with the young men to discipline themselves on sexual desires and behaviors. Because once that's disciplined, the only thing you're going to really want to do is like dance and groove. When you touch a girl, it's just being natural. Like, I like the girl, you know what I mean? And she naturally has a big ass or whatever, big booty, she's voluptuous, but you're not lusting over this now because we done got to a lustful state, and that cluster B personality disorder due to abandonment traumas that we done faced over our life, and then past genetic too, DNA wise, depending on the stage of your family's development of the spiritual sacrifices that they had to go through. Whether some families had to go through a lot more murder situations, or doing the murder, or getting robbed, or spell work being done. Shit like that had to go down. So until it gets up to a nucleus where certain spirits can be able to navigate, who will be a better high priestess or higher increased energy that can teach others, you know, when it comes up to, you know, feeling that abandonment trauma. And to teach others, I mean adopted children, or children who don't believe, you know, that God really loves them, or the Creator loves them. When they see someone like us, they can understand that, hey man, the Creator exists. And it's like you have to build this one-on-one relationship with the Creator. You don't have to wait on the false prophet to tell you some shit to go buy, sell, and trade. You know what I mean? Because it's all false. It's only for them to build their greed. Anybody trying to build this shit in this world like this, it's greed, man. It's all greed. I understand that you want to have something, but you want to have the shit that they got. It's all greed, man. And Most High already told us too. It says you don't want to. You build something in their world, you give it to them. You know, you don't need nothing. You want to be self-sufficient to the point that you don't have to say that, oh, I gave them anything. Most I don't want them motherfuckers saying that they don't gave us nothing. This is how cold most show. Like, you didn't give my babies not one red cent. Not nobody in the world. And we're going to go back to how the meetings is happening with the Trumps and shit like that. The world meetings. Ain't no niggas in the meetings, man. You know, and even in Psalms, it's talking about that. They holding crafty counts about 9 niggas' backs. While niggas is figuring out that we connected to the whole land mass. False prophet tell us that. So, this is a spiritual thing. This is not, you're going to get some guns and we're going to defend ourselves. These motherfuckers are building with other companies and other countries who have infinite amount of motherfucking weaponry, man. So the best weaponry for you to form up on yourself is your Kundalini energy. You haven't tried that yet. You think like you're just a sitting duck, but you're really not. Once you try that, you start trying that together. You'll start seeing the light connection. It was kind of low. Most High told us it was gonna be low. And these people was not gonna let up on us. So now that we're raising up and we know and understand that we connect with our ancestors, you know what I'm saying? These are our ancestors who know that the all spirit exists. We building on Hiawatha, you know what I'm saying? Iowata, who was one who united us. They don't want us to build on that type of shit. They want to keep us on the Moses, and that's cool. The Moses and things of that nature. That's great. But Iowata is the one who set the tone for us. You know, so. And also, man, you know, we built canals and everything. You know, everybody want to know how we did all that shit. We built canals and had vast cities. I mean, it was already mining and made the Great Lakes, motherfucker. Niggas made the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes wasn't even there on the map in the 1600s type shit, you know? So niggas made the Great Lakes. It's deep. It was already a cold plumbing people, man. We knew a lot of things, and we were taught by our ancestors, which we were called angels. Our ancestors. It wasn't another mortal people. It was our ancestors who already transitioned, went, traveled, boom, 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 learned a lot of things and started teaching us through inspiration. This is why you see niggas can come up with so much infinite shit. It's so much infinite shit because they tap into their ancestors and into their genetics that is connected to their ancestors for them to be able to come out with certain riffs that we never heard in this plane before. Like it's something new. This is why niggas are so amazed at other niggas. Like, you want to see the best. If I want to see the best, I'm gonna look at another nigga. But I'm gonna give somebody else the chance to be cold. If you're cold like this, I know the Most High is talking to you or talking to you. But then I'll know if it's a spirit talking to you too. You know, it's the difference. This is what Most High is training us because it's gonna be a time. The bill is about to be open. So spirits is gonna show themselves. You're gonna see spirits a lot more. You're going to be more than just the people who just see spirits. You're going to see them too. They're going to be around a lot more. Everything's going to be revealing itself because the bill is coming down. And this is the time it's going to happen, man. The Most High already told us this, man. And so by strengthening these spiritual energies in our bodies within, through the fruits, the berries, the lungs, the detoxing, you know, things that we can control, because we really can't control too much shit. You know, they already putting the food in the ground and bringing it up out, so they're God for us, basically. And they're the ones that's giving us our food back, but in a different form, you know. All we can do is have discernment and good judgment to be able to eat the right foods. But now we're in a position where we got certain brothers who got certain farms and boom, 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 because we can't rely on that, on the celebrity or the rich nigga, man, who got a lot of shit going on, you know. We got Mayweather out there buying buildings in New York. Those buildings are already ours. That's the trick. So I wouldn't even want to buy a building. That building is supposed to be given to me. The churches and all that shit. Those are all our castles, people. You know? And so these beings didn't want to even come together to make a grocery store. It's like I say, you got 1 million people together, 1 million niggas. You know niggas love to eat. You gonna come up with a grocery store chain? Bam. You know? So with that, I already know it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna until the Kundalini is raised up, until the virtualness is raised up, the truthfulness in us is raised up. I'm already attracted to God. You know if it's working too, if the mother celibate too, and they have high magnetism of everything. It's gonna be magnetized to each other. It's gonna be normal for us, so we'll be able to catch it. And anybody else, you already know. So it's not like playing them like you're playing them like they think they know and shit. You know already. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're gonna do it. Peace to the God. They still run to the bunker. You already know. You already know. Yeah, we need to. Yeah, man. You already know. We're gonna change it. Pardon me, y'all. We're gonna change it up. I know exactly where you're from and when you. Most I already planted in your birth chart, the natal charts. See, anybody got that right there? They talking about the M. They know what's up. This ain't no M. They know it ain't no M. They know Naga ain't from here. I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna drill it. If you know you got that, you know what's up. You know what I'm talking about. You got the space. Those are the ones that are talking right now. Those are the ones who got the affirmation right now, Chief. You know what I'm saying? I'll show you it comes together like a book. It's supposed to the lines perfect. It's in the natal chart. And those who are talking about it now, they got the actual space. They got the headline. They know what's up, the lifeline. Same on the left, space too. Those who ain't got the space and they shit look like that, like the M, it's like they're, and even when that's connected, that ain't even connected to me. But I'm just saying, even when that's connected, they're more people's people. They're more entertaining. They're more for the people out here. You'll see, like they have to have people around them more prone to being narcissistic and shit. You know what I'm saying? They need a lot of those around them. And I'm not saying that for anybody. If you want to heal, you can heal yourself. We need those types to actually talk and get the information out. But for the ones who like this, they were like regarded different when they were little. You know, they were more a little bit shyer. You know, it seemed a little bit more awkward. You know, if you got that, I'm telling you, that's what it is. You know, you hear nobody say nothing about that. That's because it's being revealed. Knowledge is revealed. True knowledge is revealed. The Creator's knowledge is revealed through being or be. You got the alphabet. A, Allah, but we don't say Allah, we say all, you know what I mean? So we don't want to get it misconstrued with the false prophet Jibril who taught Muhammad, which came up with the Muhammadan religion, which later came on down the line to, you know, the NOI with their fraud Muhammads and their messengers, Elijah Muhammads, and, you know, stuff like that. Stuff that goes down with that. Like, so we're not connecting it to that, you know? We're not connected to the straight up all, the all spirit, you know? All being born, the all be to be born, so you can see the divine equality of it all. E is the quality. E, then F is father. Fatten her. The father fattens her. Who is her? His wife. The wisdom. He fattens her with what? The knowledge of his culture, of how he lives. She sees that and she reflects it onto the seeds. That's what she does. She naturally does it. It's in her DNA. We go from father, which is 6, we go to God. God is the intelligence that holds the family together. Once you put everything into that center core to all spirit, everything starts to work out. God, 7, 8 is he and her. He and her is 2 ciphers. We're still building on this man and woman, which is knowledge and wisdom. 2 ciphers come together, complete of 360 degrees of knowledge, 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding part. So you got them both come together like the yin and the yang. They both got the divine feminine and divine masculine within them. So they have to cultivate that which is within. Because you can't just be one aspect. So as a man, you're supposed to cultivate your divine feminine energy, and as a woman, you cultivate your divine masculine energy. You utilize that, but they got us off of that by having a woman be the more masculine one in the house, and the man being a little bit more feminine. He getting into his low self, and he's being in his lower self, not a divine feminine, but in his low self, he'll begin to be a little bit more sexual. He'd be like the moon, void of life. He's not trying to be like cultivate his earth within him. And earth happens to born God, the AR, that happens to born God. God is the motivated, sustainer, controller, Lord of all world, the immaculate conception, which is the nigga, man, the man, the boy, or the male. They say, oh, the X chromosome is bigger than the Y chromosome. They got that from the false prophet Malachi York. He's trying to win women, man. You know, so the X chromosome is what it is. The Y chromosome is what it is. They didn't come from each other. The man can offer a Y and an X. He's the X and the Y. The woman can only offer the X, which is a wisdom, which is two. Wisdom only borns wisdom in the supreme mathematics. The WISDOM, that just happens to born two once again. We don't have to say their numerology, because now we got something that was produced for us for the future. So wisdom born wisdom, she can only give an X chromosome. She can't give a Y chromosome. A man can give an X or a Y. You know, he determines the actual sex of the seed. She's the actual what's going on. So they call the man's like fertilizer, and it's far away from what it is. He's not no fertilizer. He don't fertilize shit. He fertilizes her with his knowledge, his wisdom, and his understanding, and his ways and actions. That's what fertilizer means. The food that he eats and the environment that she's in. And she breathes in the oxygen and the elements of having her in a comfortable environment so she can formulate the physical structure of the baby. That's the fertilizing. That's what fertilizing is, you know. So yeah, so basically going on from 8 to 9 is the intelligence, and then boom, 10 is justice. I can go all the way on, but we'll come with. And every time it's going to be different because I'm intuitively just building on, you know, the understanding and the breakdown of the supreme alphabet and the supreme mathematics. But we just use them both hand in hand. And that's the beauty. That's why I don't take away nothing from the gods on earth, because that's how I got my knowledge of self. And I know that that is the better way of being free, without being under somebody's mind control, like a false prophet or a false messenger and shit. Like, you know, I love the uniform activity where they got the bow ties on the block and they're asking for donations and whatever the fuck. It looks good, you know what I'm saying? But once you get to the depth of it, you know what I'm saying, that's kind of like the water that looks like, you know, turquoise shit to get out into the blue. You know, we want to get out into the blue part where it's deep, like, nigga, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't want to just look the part. We gotta be the part. And so as we grow now, we don't understand, like, it gets a little bit more deeper, you know. For those who have a natural talent and gift or some type of craft that they done developed, it's up to you to master these crafts and develop them over your life. Your life is only one life, it's for forever. You're gonna have these talents for forever. And you become the light being and all of that. Every time, at every stage of life, you have an example of what's gonna come next. It's always like that. You never just not look and be like, oh, I don't know what's happening next like that. Like, you have an idea. The Most High showed you, and it shows you through the example of whatever a zodiac is to allow you to predict agriculture. It shows you through your action through a zodiac, the time, how people will act at a certain point. You know, even with death. You know, but they tried to hide that part because they knew and understood that we had the answers. That we knew that there were resurrections. We was always communicating with our kinfolk, always, as a baby and everything. They knew that shit. They do it. It's a little bit different because they're on the first resurrection, or the earth resurrection, which is where a lot of beings who cannot understand spiritual nature or soulful nature to the all spirit, they reside at. It's like the pyramid, you know, it gets small at the top. At the bottom of so many different life forms, and then go into different culture, different worlds, they're all in the first resurrection. The second resurrection naturally is supposed to be the point where we learn our gifts and our talents and shit to further go on when we graduate and go into different worlds and inspire other mortals who are living their lives, other mortals who are spiritually inclined to have to see spiritual natures and to connect with the all source. You know, there's some beings who can't do it, and for those, sometimes Most High put us mix in with the warrior type with the ripened spiritual kind and mix them together so they can continue to mate. This is why it's important, like when the Israelites only mix with the Israelites, because you know, when you mix your seed with a barbarian or a beast man, you have a lower chance. You have to stay around to coach your seed either 6 or more generations to get up into Ethereum. That's a long time to stay behind. So Most High don't really want you to go through a lot of these hells and shit. That's why it's a blueprint here. But it'll tell you, but it's not like you won't do it. It's like you got free will, and even though we know what you're kind of going to do. You know? And it's just to avoid being on first resurrection upon transition and death, man. And you know that anyone who's on first resurrection, just through their life, how they live, you know. And this, who's on second resurrection, who's learning, who's teaching, who's developing their spiritual nature, and who's on third resurrection, who's the true God, the highest of all danger. That one is the one that's the hardest to get to. And this is where you got to give up a lot of shit and sacrifice. Like everything in the lower self, like this, the sexual nature, food, desires that come along with being connected to earth, you know. You don't want the heavens to be forced upon you. A lot of beings, the heavens are forced upon them just due to their lack of appreciation for the Creator and the creation. And they just kind of want to go down into the lower self. But eventually, everyone graduates off the earth plane. And it would take thousands of years if you're just roaming around on the earth as a roaming spirit. You don't want to be a roaming spirit. You know what I mean? So these are the messages you need to take heed of. Paying the tithes, which is true paying the tithes. You ain't got to pay that shit at church, pass on the plate. I'm past the altar. So basically what you got to do, look at that. Come on now, thug it down. Come on, look out. Basically what you got to do is save that light up every month. You're going to get stronger, and we're going to get stronger and stronger. We're going to be more truthful with each other. And a nigga ain't going to even lie to each other. I can guarantee you that one. You know what I'm saying? You talking about loyalty? That's why when you see a lot of sports and the team sports, a lot of them dudes is not having sex during the season. And if they are, you can tell who's weak. He's always injured. Motherfucker's always on the bench, breathing hard and shit. Like it's a hard thing to do. Like, motherfucker, you train every day. Something's going on. It ain't the nutrition, motherfucker. You busting nuts. That's what it is. You can be stronger. That's the edge of an athlete over another athlete anyway. But if you're strong, you ain't gotta worry about that. You know, they try to coax you to bust that seed, G. I always get coaxed to do the shit. They always try to tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's what they want now. It's like, you don't bad. Yeah. I know what's up. You know what I'm saying? You know? So, the harem of Biff. I was at the harem of Biff. I remember them books and them stories and shit. You know, a lot of that stuff, man, they kind of came over and trying to, take over our land through those stories. You know, but we're resurrecting ourselves right now. That's why these people are having these daggone meetings, world meetings, standing there like, yeah, and, I got 7 of my niggas, 7 of my country niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's how they kind of look like. I got 7. We holding shit down. It's like, y'all understand? We're talking about niggas right now getting their land and shit. You letting it be known that niggas are Americans and shit, true Americans. And then we're seeing police brutality. We got to talk about that. We're doing reaction videos. And police brutality, that happens all the damn time. Why? I don't care how much of the law you think you know. If you're the proper pro se, if you're asking them, the spirit got to be with your ass. Because if it ain't with you, you can ask them, man, I need your delegation of authority. If the spirit ain't with your ass and you ain't got no down ass ancestors, you ain't got ancestors that do that type of shit, the ancestors do that type of shit, then it's going to fail. You know what I'm saying? But I've been fortunate enough to get up out of those type of situations. However, a lot of that shit don't even matter, especially when they come knocking down the door. They come knocking down the door. I came from a hood where the police will knock down the door and don't even have to have a warrant. You know what I'm saying? They can serve that shit at the end when they find the shit. You know what I mean? I was fortunate enough my door didn't get knocked in. You know? But I was in a place where doors were knocked in. You know? And it's like they have crafty counsel behind your back, meaning that the Sharif is the one with the delegation of authority. So you have the people who own the property, the landlord, whereas the Sharif calls the landlord like, yo man, we getting problems. They say they selling this and that. The landlord like, what? They selling what? Blah, 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 blah. This is one permission to go in there and get this shit, get that. And it's like, damn, the landlord, what you gonna tell, man? Ain't my rent on time and shit? But you can't have that, right? So the landlord's gonna team up with them because he probably some form of little mason shit, boom, 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 get their ass up out the house. They do the raid, break the landlord shit and everything. He fucked up. Like, dude, are they gonna give you a check for breaking all your doors? Probably what? They probably did. Probably some underneath shit. It's bribery. You know, niggas don't do bribery. And like I say, with bribery, we only do bribery, and we only started bribery with evil, wicked motherfuckers to get our way out of some shit. It was not to just walk up and give you some shit. If the police pull a nigga over and you trying to get home, it's like, dog, man, I got $20, man. Buy you steak or something, dog. And the police will say, okay, go. that was because of that, the type of shit we went through. If we go to Africa and the motherfucking police is coming to you, you just walking down the street, standing at the bus stop, and you just got your headphones on, police tapping you on your shoulder, boom, boom, boom. Huh? What you talking about? Give it here. What? Give me. You know what I mean? Like you, or what, nigga? I'm gonna throw you in jail. Like, nigga, I didn't do shit. I'm just standing here. And so they see what happens on TV and shit. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, he gives money when we do that. It happens in South Africa. It's like, yo, we can't be bros. You have a crappy counsel with these motherfuckers. You have never seen us have crappy counsel with these motherfuckers. You only seen celebrities and pastors and reverends and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, that don't represent all niggas, man. The one who represent niggas is hood niggas. The fucking Panthers that they dismantle. Anybody who's trying to do something for the community, motherfuckers who made WIC programs and shit like that, it's for everybody to eat. You know, we chopping it up with them. No Masonic individuals, you know what I'm saying? We don't know shit about none of these other motherfuckers that come in. We just happen to accept people because we love the Creator and all its creation. I think we love them the most. We think we love that shit the most. When it was about Africa, we was down for Africa, nigga. Ain't none of one Africa came over and said, look, nigga, hey man, I got $1 billion for your ass. Don't tell nobody shit. Do what you do. Ain't none of these niggas said that. Ain't nobody said it. So most times for the show right now, because we already got the talent and shit. We're on the show right now. We don't have to go to Kenya and put $5 billion in their land. No. Let Khalees and all them motherfuckers go over there and do that shit. You know what I'm saying? We got spiritual connection on our shit. We got a higher currency. You know what I mean? So any one of them niggas that are chosen or right in spirit that don't want to talk about a nigga behind his back, that don't have the idolized, divide, and discard mechanism of a cluster B personality disorder, you come over to where we at. Come over to Death Row, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We got palm trees and everything. We got motherfucking pig. We got the motherfucking big palm tree and all that shit, nigga, where we at chilling. We got fish galore, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you connected to us, now if you ain't connected to us, we in the season with Mosai and our ancestors fucking some shit up. I gotta pick my ball. Fucking some shit up right now, dude. You know? So it's best if you're gonna come, you know, we're not with the bribery. You know how these people get funded money. Like a lot of African countries, they get funded billions of dollars. And then they'll get funded like $9 billion and put $2 million into the city type shit. You be like, damn, that city poor. And they pocket all that money and shit. So you see these motherfuckers rolling around in the best fucking cars and shit, showing up to those crappy meetings without us and shit. So it's supposed to be a big thing when we talk about Torah and shit, you know what I'm saying? Going around, he stood up for his people. You don't know what the fuck going on, man. You know, we're supposed to be clapping that he got robed for his judging people, and they making governments, and we don't know what type of motherfucking constitution or declaration he's using. We don't give a fuck right now. They all got messages for us. But did you not understand, and we just found out that America's our land? No false prophet told us that. Maybe, you know, Malachi said a little bit. He didn't want to say it like 98% of the niggas is from America. You know what I'm saying? You know, more Americans, then they could try to sue America and try to get, you know, the whole North, South, and Central America, that shit. You know what I mean? A lot of this shit ain't gonna work in their world. We have spirit where our power is the Most High Creator, is the truth that is within, and it deals with our kundalini. And as long as we give it away to these molesting ass vampiric energies, and we don't break up with this narcissistic entity that's always in our shit. Because when you break up with a narcissist, you got to really leave a narcissist alone, like no contact. Everybody's like, oh, I see Trump, that's my president, And it's like, you gotta understand, see, we're dealing with a narcissistic entity that's been fucking with us for a while. So once we started to cut no contact, motherfuckers seen that we was kind of moving away. We're about to start doing our own shit, you know? They see this, they're like, man, hold up, nigga. They start giving us some checks, You see a couple of sacrifices of niggas here and there. You see some more, all of this dumbass shit. It's like, wait a minute, I thought we was cool, but you're still finding ways. You're not running down on these niggas that's killing on these motherfuckers that's trying to kill niggas and all of that. It's like, this is a cluster B personality disorder thing we're dealing with. You gotta know how to deal with a narcissist. You have to break all the way from a narcissist. You cannot trade. Most I told us we can't trade with these people, man. There's no way to trade. Fuck you, dog. What's up, y'all? Cool? Okay. There's no way to trade. I got Messiah all the angels on me. You must be laying out out here. Because you can't trade with these people, man. He told us. You have everything that's needed. You are very independent people. You're interdependent. You will let people come to your shit. You'll create abundance so somebody can come to your crib and chill and have a good time. Every nigga's like that in heart. We've always been like that. You come over to the crib, we want to show you the best time at our house, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If we, especially if we got something good, it's not to show out. It's just to make you feel so comfortable, man. That's where the mikasa and sukasa come from. And that's not no Roman thing, Latino thing. That came from niggas, man. We always been this way. You know what I'm saying? Hospitable, very kind, very open, very loving, man. You know, this is why they depend on us having this codependent issue dealing with the cluster B personality. This is the best way to explain it because this is what we're dealing with. They expect us to be, you know, codependent on whatever the fuck they say. Voting, we ain't supposed to even vote for these motherfuckers. What can they do if we don't vote for them? So in order for us to act as a unit, because they're separating us through different little things, because they're still trying to be around us and still trying to do things to trigger us, you know what I mean? I'm talking about being around us. They need to get the inspiration, trying to get into the heavens, man. It's more than just being on earth, to being around you, to get the spirit, the essence, to get into heaven where we at, to our heaven. Or if not, to bring us down to their heavens. And this is what we can't do. Not no more. We didn't already try to help. It ain't gonna help no more. Ancestors tearing shit up now. Shit's happening. So now everybody done chose their little side. So basically, narcissists, you gotta leave their ass alone. Meaning that once you do, they'll wait for a while because they still got your energy connected to them. It's like, okay, we're still connected. I still feel that energy from the chosen person who got so much love that makes me feel so full. I'm cool. I can go give it to other people because they feel like you. You know what I mean? But after they stop getting that energy, that love, and all of this affection, then they turn around to you and get a little bit upset, like, what's wrong with you? Da-da-da. And before you know it, they already idolizing and dividing and discarding you and doing it in cycles over and over again. They take your love and go around the world with it like they are the ones who created this shit. They the ones who are love. And they're far from it, because to have love, you have to go through hell to come out right, man. That's a part of the alphabet too. Loving yourself enough to go through the certain hells it takes to come out right. You just don't go through hell just to be going through hell. So when you're dealing with a people, man, that is a narcissistic culture, sociopathic culture that has to talk to people, has to be in people's face, very histrionic, very sexually borderline, personality, insane motherfuckers, you have to break up with them and leave them alone. The way we was dangled in front of them, the Most High dangled us in front of them like we was this precious jewel, which we are. But Most High is snatching us back like an Indian giver type shit. And once we're snatched back, our energy is not going to be given to this narcissistic entity no longer. And this is how we're going to show how to break up with the narcissist. You know, you can't let the narcissist come back 2 weeks later and say, hey, I miss you. You know what I'm saying? They'll wait years to come back on your ass. I miss you. I thought about you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because they never gave you no closure. You know that they just wanted to treat you, leave you high and dry. So with a narcissist, you got to break up with them forever. Because once they see you not talking to them, they'll see that that's no contact, and they'll do whatever it takes to break that no contact. Give you money, send you gifts, presents, whatever the fuck. We have yet to really go through that with America. We're kind of going through it a little bit right now, and a lot of niggas is kind of happy, like, look at my President Trump, he about this, he got this, and this, and this. This nigga over here getting this bitch in the office that your ancestors done built. You know what I'm saying? Having sex and all this shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Ain't they not do one little thing? Larry Hoover left. Larry Hoover did it. It's narcissistic moves, B. You know what I'm saying? And they're just testing the waters on how much they still got you. How they got us a little bit. But they still got us? Oh, well. They got a motherfucker owning BET. You got niggas that can't even come together and make our own motherfucking channel. You got Oprah. It's her own. But she owned that shit. You know? Michael Jordan, I like the Jordans, but I probably never buy a pair of Jordans. It was gifted to me, that's cool. I won't buy it. I just won't buy it. I just won't even buy it, dude. We're gonna be having God by supernatural shoes, man. You know what I'm saying? These shoes make you, even though shoes make you feel better, anything new makes you feel better if you have a narcissistic personality. So anything you new you put on, you feel like you're a better person because you don't want to look at your weakness of yourself, which is this very low vampiric energy. So to make yourself put on something, you know, put a mask on every day. These beings have to do this shit every day. People do this shit every day. There's people that do it every day like that. But this, as a culture, do it every damn day. Have to put on this mask. Make themselves seem like they're this righteous entity on earth that helps everybody out all over the world. Not in the world.